Okay, so let's begin. Let's pay respect to Sama Sambuddha. มหาอภิวาทาพุทธวจนะจตุราสีติธรรมขันธาสหัสสานิวิสติอริยมรรควิสติสามัญญพละเอกานิพพานะขิปปาปิญญาโดยเฉียบพลันในประวัติการนี้เทินโยโวอานันทมยาธรรมโมจะวินโยจะเทสิโต
ปัญญาโต
โสโวมาจะเยนะสัทธา go ahead go ahead
โยโวอานันทมยาธรรมโมจะวินโยจะเทสิโตปัญญาโตโสโวมาจะเยนะสัทธาโยโวอานันทมยาธรรมโมจะวินโยจะเทสิโตปัญญาโตโสโวมาจะเยนะสัทธา
พุทธวจนะจตุราสีติธรรมขันธาสหัสสานิคือปรมัตถาอนุตตรสัมมาสัมโพธิ
สมณะ
โคตมะปัญญาธิกะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะมหาภิวาทะปรมัตถาอนุตตรสัมมาสัมโพธิปัญญาธิกะทรงบำเพ็ญมหาปารมี20อสังไขยกำไรแสนกัปปะทรงพบปรมัตถาอนุตตรสัมมาสัมโพธิ512,028ปัญญาธิกะพุทธะด้วยเสียงกล้าว We do it in Thai 'cause it's faster นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะมหาภิวาทะปรมัตถอนุตตรสัมมาสัมโพธิสัทธาธิกะทรงบำเพ็ญมหาปารมี40อสังขายกำไรแสนกัปปะทรงพบปรมัตถอนุตตรสัมมาสัมโพธิ1,24,055สัทธาธิกะพุทธะด้วยเสียงกล้าวนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะมหาภิวาทะปรมัตถอนุตตรสัมมาสัมโพธิวิริยาธิกะทรงบำเพ็ญมหาปารมี80อสังขายกำไรแสนกัปปะทรงพบปรมัตถอนุตตรสัมมาสัมโพธิ248,109วิริยาธิกะพุทธะด้วยเสียงกล้าว So we now pay respect to Tipitaka Thamacariya Thamapala Theravada Phalapoti Sushat Nak on We Sati Ariyamaka We Sati Samanya Phala เอกานิพพานะขิปาพิญญาโดยเฉียบพลันในประวัติการนี้เทิน Now we pay respect to พุทธสาวกะ
as อริยธรรมะ
Yeah อริยปุคละ people สุปฏิปันโน Supatipanno, Supatipanno. So when we say Arya Bukkhala, we refer to individuals such as Maha Ananta, Maha Mokkhalana, Maha Sariputta, Maha Upalawana, Maha Khema. So important people like this, Maha Visakha, Anathapindika, right? And now we want to pay respect to Pante and Aye. So let's see who is in the room right now. We have, I think, Aye Patama, Jitta Suthi. Okay, so Namaskaran Pante Aye. Namaskaran Pante Aye. Namaskaran Pante Aye. Satu 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 Navuti Upaniti Panta Anumotami. All right, so welcome back to another episode of our Dhamma talk, Dhamma discussion. Today's topic is going to be quite advanced for some of you, but that's okay. That's okay. So learning Dhamma or Sikaya is kind of like playing with jigsaws, like puzzles. So at the beginning, you might not see what's going to happen. You don't know what the outcome is going to be, the overall picture. But the more you tolerate with studying Osika Dhamma, then the
more you can
more
connect the dots.
knowledgeable you become and you can start to connect the dots.
True.
So that's the logic behind it. It's kind of like exercising or doing diet, right? So let's say that you are kind of overweight right now and you want to cut your weight down by 10 kilograms, right? So ideally, right? Ideally, you would want to be able to do that within like a week or even a month. That would be awesome, right? We all would want that. But the reality is, as you know, it's almost impossible to do it safely. So you understand that there are many elements that play into how
in
you
order to
gain
get
weight
the
and how you want to lose weight.
yeah, in order to get that result, it depends on the foundation. It depends on the the starting point where you started. If you have a very high like the background,
Foundation.
yeah, high background or foundation, of course you can connect the dot easier, right? But if you are the newbies, you don't have that much knowledge, but you're trying to connect the dot, of course it's going to spend more time than the others. But anyways, everything that you're going to learn, it's already filtered, it's right. But even though right now you don't understand it 100%, that's normal because we also passed that experience before.
Yeah.
So just keep that pieces and one day it would connect.
So just be patient with yourself. If you don't understand, it's perfectly normal. I mean, it would be crazy to understand this part, especially, the Dhamma that we're going to review today. It's a very advanced level. It's the level that can help people to reach Nibbana if they understand this correctly. Um, but I know that a lot of you have been studying or Sikha Dhamma for years. For example, Miss Sankamita, so she has a pretty solid foundation already. But although, she might disagree or she might feel um, like she doesn't know that
Humble,
much,
very humble.
but actually she does. But it takes quite some time for us to start to connect the dots. Like for me personally, um, like I diligently seek Dhamma for many years, right? But up until the 10th year or the 11th year that I started to feel that I could talk about Dhamma, I could explain things in terms of Dhamma, and I could start teaching. So that's how long, it took me personally to feel comfortable in talking about Dhamma. And typically here in our group, we like to talk about Abhidhamma, which is the highest form of Dhamma. Satu. So yes, satu, satu, satu. Nawati upaniti panta anumotami. So we got some comments. Yeah, Sankamita, and
Hari
also
Chand Singh.
Harry Jan Singh. Welcome. Um, are you new? Maybe you are new. But that's okay. Nice to meet you.
Nice.
Yes, I am new. Mama Buddhaya. I am from India in Uttarakhand, from Dehradun.
Satu. Who invited you to this group? Can you tell us?
Yeah, Rekha Koche is invited to me and add in the groups now. She is telling about the Abhidhamma classes. We start and listen the Abhidhamma. I am very interested. I am very keen interested to learn the Abhidhamma.
Very nice.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
how about can you recite 121 chitta, all of them already?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Anumotana Satu.
Mm.
That's fantastic.
I
That's really good.
am 100% decided to giving the full time for the Dhamma. I am returning from the service after the completing the 35 4 years.
Mm,
And now I have fully decided for the commitment of the Dhamma. And I am
that's
very keen interested to learning the Abhidhamma. Basically, Abhidhamma is the main part of the Dhamma to understand the Dham.
true.
true.
I think so.
Yes,
So
you're absolutely right. Yes, Abhidhamma is the core foundation. Um,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So in Dhamma, right? Dhamma has actually 63 Dhammakanta, but it's divided into two parts, right? The one that we are mostly familiar with is called Suttanta. So Suttanta is basically the stories about Buddha
Swatantrik,
Savaka.
yes, Swatantrik. It is
Yeah,
means the
about
Swatantrik
the
word na in the
yeah,
Indian.
Bhikkhu,
Swatantrik,
Bhikkhuni,
yes.
Upasaka, Upasika, the stories of how they become enlightened, how they become Arya Bukkala. So everybody has the past, right? We're all living in the present life, but we all came from the past. And without the past, there's no way that we can achieve Nibbana. That's the key
Yes.
word. That's the key word. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about past lives. not only the past life, but present life and the future life. So
Yes,
it's kind of like a big timeline, and that's called the transcendence to Nibbana. Transcendence is about traveling, kind of like a time
yes,
machine, but not in a literal term,
Mm.
right? It's about
yes.
Nikaya.
Find your own route.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Correct.
And the Buddha is the one who
Find the route.
takes us on the journey
Have
to
you know
travel to the
about the
past.
Trikaya? Basically, yes, just wait a minute. You have studied the word of the Trikaya. You know basically Trikaya?
What's the name?
Trikaya. Basically, you have used the word of the Trikaya. You know about the meaning of the Trikaya?
Trikaya.
Kaya, like this.
Trikaya. I know Kaya. I know about the Kaya, but I am asking the Trikaya. You know
Okay,
Trikaya?
type in the chat box.
Yes,
I'm
just a
I'm
moment.
not
Just
sure
a moment.
if I got
Once,
your
just a,
what you're saying
just a
correctly.
moment. I am telling about that. Now, one sabdi is Dhammakaya, and second is Nirmanakaya, and then third is Sambhogkaya. You know about that? You listen the words?
Okay, type it down first, and then we can discuss about it.
Dhammakaya. One part is Dhammakaya. Basically,
Dhammagaya, yeah.
yes. Dhammakaya means na basically Buddha has studied the words na basically telling about the Dhammakaya and Nirmanakaya and Sambhogkaya. Basically, three words and three kaya basically na. We are using them. Basically, this is the concept are coming from the Mahayana. You know about the Mahayana?
Mahayana, yeah, I know about
Yes.
Mahayana, but we don't focus on Mahayana
Okay,
because
okay. I know about the, we are not
okay,
focusing
cool,
on the
cool.
Mahayana.
Yeah. All right, so Harry, why don't we talk about that maybe towards the end of the class if we have time? Is that okay?
Yeah, okay. Nice to meet
Cool.
you.
All right. Okay, nice to meet you. So we're gonna get
Nice.
to the lesson now. So we're talking about transcendence to Nibbana.
Okay. What is your good name? I bet one asking. What is your good name? Both of you?
Yeah, just call me Ben. Easy to call.
Yeah.
Ben, and this is
Mickey. Miki. Mickey. You can call me
Yeah,
Mickey
okay.
Mouse. It's okay.
like
Okay,
Mickey Mouse.
thank you.
Yeah.
Easy to
Okay.
remember, right? Nice to meet you,
Yes,
Harry.
nice to meet you. Start the meeting. Yes, okay, thank you.
Thank
All the
you.
best.
Okay, let's see who
Sadhu,
else is
sadhu, sadhu.
here. Satu. Let's see who else is here. All right. We have a lot of Thai English speakers here, which is fantastic. All right, so transcendence to Nibbana, let's talk about that. So yeah, we paid respect to the Buddha already and Buddha Savaka already, and we paid respect to Ajahn Suchat Nakon, who's the one that we have to feel grateful for, because Abhidhamma is a very difficult subject, and without this gentleman here, it would be virtually impossible for any of us to understand.
We're going to understand but by our own logic, which is sometimes is not right through the meaning of the Paramatha or Buddha. So that's why we need somebody who understand really what Paramatha Anuttara Samma Sampothi means. So, and we checked our study back to the with somebody that is already an expert onto that subject. So that's why we always come and check at the Pitaka and the Honorable Ajahn Suchat Nakon. Always like giving us the guideline and the way to Sikha Dhamma, the way to read the Pitaka and make sure it's go through Sammatiti.
And he's a very nice gentleman and very lovely person. Like if you ever met him, like you would feel his energy. Like he's a really
very
good
impressive
live by example as well of a Dhamma person or a Buddhist. So great gentleman here. And the lady here, also a very, very special person. Her name is Nongnut Thana Damrongsak. That's her full name. But she
is the president of all the
she's
Vihara.
chairperson of our Sikha Dhamma group. She was also the first Dhamma teacher for me as well. Maybe for you, maybe. but I met her the first day. First day I came to the group. She welcomed me very nicely, and she started picking out the book that she wrote about Abhidhamma, like a Sikha manual, and she started teaching. This is Akusala Chitta. Chitta has 121 and all that. She started teaching me. So I was very impressed the first day that I came to the group. I met her. Very nice lady. But she a few years ago she passed away, but her legacy still lives, and we are doing a lot of temple building all over the world. And a couple of days ago, we just came back from India, came back from Vaishali. We have a huge Mahavihara there, and so we just started to install the wooden
front
doors.
gate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the front gate as well will be soon, but the carved
The main gate in the Vihara.
yeah, the main gate in the Vihara and the Mahapalanga as well,
Mm.
right at the center. And it was carved from a very old tree from Thailand.
Teak wood.
Teak wood? Is it teak
Yeah,
wood?
yeah, teak.
Teak, yeah, teak wood. And I think it's like 4,000 years old tree.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty old tree. And yeah, it's quite amazing. So if you haven't been to Vaishali, to our Mahavihara, Vivatta, so welcome.
Welcome.
All right, so I made this slide actually because I wanted to talk about our livelihood, what our life is driven by. Should we talk about that now? Yeah, we should probably talk about that. So the person who might be familiar with what we're going to show is Sankamita. Sankamita, if you are able to turn on your microphone, please do so. Yes. I want to check if you have some understanding about Nibbana Rupa. Have you heard of that? Nibbana Rupa.
Nibbana, yes, Rupa, not both the concept. Only Nibbana, I know Rupa separately.
Yeah, Nibbana
Nibbana
Rupa.
separately.
How many Rupa are there in Nibbana Rupa?
I only know Rupa, Rupa 15. Not the Nibbana is the stage where we was enlightened.
Okay. So that's
Okay.
different.
20.
That's
That's
different.
different.
Okay, maybe we need to do a bit of a revision, or maybe it's your first time hearing this. So that's why I was
28.
afraid, this might be a little bit
4 plus
challenging
24. 24.
for some of you, but I will show you quickly. I will show you quickly. All right, so Nibbana Rupa is not about Nibbana, actually. Yeah, let me show you.
But you need Nibbana Rupa.
Of course. So you need Chitta, right? You need Chitta 1, Chittasika 52, Nibbana Rupa 18 to go to Nibbana. Anyway, here's Nibbana Rupa. So the last slide, the title was our livelihood, how we carry ourselves in an everyday life, right? We are driven by Rupa because what are we made of? We are made of Rupa, right? We are made of Rupa. So we have eyes, ears, nose, mouth. We have tongue, right? We have the body. We have the organs. That's Rupa. And people surrounding us, Rupa as well. And the things surrounding us, our environment, our earth, our universe, that's Rupa as well. It came from the past lives. However, in the present life, we are still driven by Rupa, right? We are inside of the Rupa. We are the Rupa. But the original form of Rupa has how many? How many Rupa are there? Originally?
15, where we learn this in
The
Original
the
Rupa.
starting point.
28, Rupa
Yeah,
28.
28.
28.
Correct.
28. Basically,
Rupa,
originally
that's the
28.
original form. Correct. So we have Chitta 121, Cetasika 52. The workings, right? When Chitta start to interact with Cetasika, they cause Rupa, right? Rupa came from Chitta and Cetasika. All right. So you get a Rupa 28, but that's the original form. But when we live our lives on a daily basis, we are operated by Nibbana Rupa and anippana rupa. So it's on the right side. Right here, if you can see the cursor, nippana rupa has 18 and anippana rupa 10. Right. It came from 28 because look, 18 plus 10 is 28. But now, since we have to live lives, then we need to we have groups like this. So we are driven by this rupa. The first group, nippana rupa. Nippana rupa has 18. The first part is called avinipoka rupa, 8. We have Patavi Mahaputa rupa, Apo Mahaputa rupa, Tesho Mahaputa rupa, Vayo Mahaputa rupa, Rupa Visaya rupa, Kantha Visaya rupa, Sattha, where's Sattha? Oh, Sattha is right here, but this is avinipoka rupa. Rupa Visaya rupa, Kantha Visaya rupa, Rasa Visaya rupa, and Ahara rupa. These 8 rupa is very important. You must remember that in the end, when we want to reach Nibbana, we use these 8 rupa, all right? Because this is the foundation for everything. Foundation for everything. We are composed of these 8 rupa, right? But that's not it, because Nibbana rupa has more. It has Sattha rupa or Sattha Visaya rupa. Actually, this is switched. This is supposed to be called Sattha Visaya rupa, okay? And then we have Pasatha Rupa 5. You have Jakku Pasatha Rupa, Sota Pasatha Rupa, Kana Pasatha Rupa, Chiuha Pasatha Rupa, Kaya Pasatha Rupa. And then we have Power Rupa 2, Iti Power Rupa, and Purisa Power Rupa. Right? This is about male and female. Then we have very important Rupa. Right? We'll show you why it's important later on. But it's called Hataya Rupa. Now, Hataya doesn't mean the heart, because that would be Hatayang. But Hatayang is Patavi Mahaputa Rupa. That's different, right? But we are talking about Hataya Rupa. And then we have Chivita Rupa 1. So that makes up 18. All right. Then we have Anippana Rupa 10. We have Pariccheta Rupa 1. Vinyati Rupa 2. We have Kaya Vinyati Rupa and Vaci Vinyati Rupa. We have Vikara Rupa 3, Rupasa Lahuta, Rupasa Mututa, Rupasa Kamanyata. And then we have Lakkhana Rupa 4. So Rupasa Ucapo, Rupasa Santati, Rupasa Charata, Rupasa Anicata. All right. We are living our lives with these rupa mainly, even though we cannot really see it, right? We cannot really see it because this is not avinipoka rupa. This is not avinipoka rupa. Our bodies is still at the level 0. Probably have seen this chart before. All right, so look on the top left. We are right here in this realm, in this world. We're humans, right? And we also have animals that we can see and feel. So this is at level 0. But there's something more, right? When the Buddha teaches you about rupa, you gotta really go down, zoom in really, really far, right? To level 99. Okay. This is all like assumption number, all right? But at level 0 is where we live. With technologies, scientists start to know that what the Buddha knew a long time ago was accurate, because there are things that live really, really deep down, really far. Like the first thing that they discovered was matters like cells. Okay, cells first. We have cells, right? And then they take the microscope and then they zoom in further. They start to find matters like gases like oxygen, hydrogen, helium, argon, etc. And then they zoom down further because technology continues to advance. Then they discover what they call molecule, right? Molecule is at level 2, and then they go down further. They discover atoms, and then they started making atomic bombs and use it as destructive weapons. And then they discover something further, particles like protons and neutrons, electrons, right? Then they discovered nucleus, like the nuclear bomb that they make, right? Because they discovered this. And then deeper, they find radiation. Then they discover quarks. And then finally string. And right now, the technology is
For
limited and they
scientific proof, they
Yeah.
can go to only level 8.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, it's not only that,
Yeah.
right? There's something go deeper, which only Buddha can really discover.
But I mean, if you think about it, that should be
Yeah.
enough proof for us to believe that what the Buddha knew a long time ago, despite not having a microscope back then, that these things do exist and it's true. But what the scientists discover is only on the surface level. I mean, if you look at it, like if you are able to see devas, brahmas, peta, asurakaya, or
Naraka.
like naraka, like hell animals, then you must have really good eyes because they live in a very deep, um, you have to go really deep down to level 50, an assumption level 50, right? If you start to see it. But that's not even rupa yet. That is like bhumis, bhumis that we cannot see or feel, but we know are real, like heaven and hell. That's level 50. You need to go down even further to level 99, almost 100. Now, level 100 is the most, what do you call? The, the deepest level, let's say that the deepest level is chitta and cetasika. That's level 100. That means rupa is level 99. Okay, so this is where we discover avinipoka rupa, pathavi, apo, techo, vayo, rupa, kantha, rasa, ahara. Right? 8. And all the other rupa as well is right here at level 99. But there is no way without the Buddha that we would know that this exists. And without level 99 here, we cannot reach Nibbana. Because Maha Ananta, right, Maha Anya Kontanya, Maha Mokkhalana, Maha Sariputta, Maha Khema, Maha Upalawana, right? Arya Pukkhala, all these people, they knew how to do this. Okay, they listen to the Buddha's Dhamma through their ears, but it doesn't stay with the ears because the ear is at level 0. It goes down further to level 99, and then it goes back to level 100. Okay, so they all do the same mechanism. The transcendence is the same. The thing that I want to show you is the same. For everyone, for Buddha Savaka in the past, and for our generation as well, Savaka Buddha. We are called Savaka Buddha. People back then was called Buddha Savaka. Different, all right? For Buddha Savaka, people in the past, they must have been determined by one of the previous Buddhas that they would have to wait. They cannot reach enlightenment yet. That they would be given a role to perform during one of the Buddha's lifetimes, right? So they have the obligation to perform. But
they're willing to.
Yeah, they're willing to help. Without these people, there would be no Buddha Sasana. Buddha Sasana is not just the Buddha, but it's a company of people. The company meaning parisa, right? You have Bhikkhu parisa, Bhikkhuni parisa, Upasaka parisa, and Upasika. That's why we must have Bhikkhuni. A lot of places they disregard Bhikkhuni because they assume that Bhikkhuni was gone. But the Buddha said that in order for Buddha Sasana to go on, there must be four parts of the company, right? Or the parisa, jatu parisa. We must have bhikkhuni as well, right? And okay, so what should we talk about now? I have to think a lot, because some of the things that I'm going to show you is very challenging.
So let me talk about Nibbana Rupa. because people always get confused between Nibbana Rupa and Kammacha Rupa. So actually the Nibbana Rupa, I would like you to imagine is the normal process of Rupa. Every time when you're going to change the form, this is not only life you have the previous life, you have the future life. So, but everything has been go forwarding by Nibbana Rupa. So actually it's the working process of Citta and Cetasika working together and becoming Rupa. And the further or go on Rupa, the next step of having this Rupa to the next life Rupa, we call it Nibbana Rupa. So it's the normal process of Sattva. It's the normal process where you don't know Dhamma. Even though you know Dhamma doesn't mean that you can go to Nibbana yet, because you also have to accumulate the punya. Once you accumulate the punya and you listen to Buddha, you will see the path where you can go to Nibbana, which is go the other way around from Nibbana Rupa process. So I would like to refer back to the Nibbana Rupa. As I said, it's the normal process, it's going forward process, how the Paticca Samuppada working. So it's working forward all the time from this life after the death. So you will go to another form. That another form we call it Nibbana Rupa process. So it's going forward all the time.
Yes.
Unless you can enter Lokuttara. Once you enter Lokuttara, that will not call Nibban. I would say in the easy ways that you can go further.
Yeah. So the thing that you would try to remember from this slide is that Nibbana Rupa and Anibbana Rupa will take you to the future life, meaning you'll be born again, meaning that you can only stay within Lokiya, right? But as humans, right, as people who Sikha Abhidhamma, we all want to achieve Nibbana, right? We all want to reach at least Sotapanna.
We would like to re-engineer it.
Right. So we
from
have
Nibbana
to
Rupa.
re-engineer the process. Actually, the process was already made, but we just have to reverse engineer. We just have to go back a step because Nibbana Rupa that we have in the present life was caused by right here, Kammacharupa and Agammacharupa, right? It's kind of like a cycle. Kammacharupa and Agammacharupa was also created by Nibbana Rupa and Anibbana Rupa in the past life, right? So it keeps going like this. But the thing that you want to remember from this slide is that you need to have Kammacharupa. You need to use Kammacharupa 18 and Agammacharupa 10 in order to go to Nibbana. Right, not Nibbana Rupa 18 and Anibbana Rupa 10. This is an automatic process that even if you didn't know, even if you did not Sikha Dhamma, you still need it anyway to go forward, right?
True.
So there are two paths, right, that we are taking. The one path is automatic. Nibbana Rupa 18 and Anibbana Rupa 10, that's automatic.
Sankhamita, do you remember the Rupa in 5 Naya? Have you heard of it? Rupa Samutta Rupa Vipaka, Rupa Samuttathan, Rupa Kalapa, Rupa Pavatikama. Have you heard of this?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. So actually everybody lives under Nibbana Rupa. And actually the subset or the subcategory or the sub-process of Nibbana Rupa 18 and 10. So inside of them, inside of the Nibbana Rupa as the big umbrella, there will be Samuttathan or Kammacharupa living, like staying in there. But nobody knows except Buddha. That's why we're going to learn about what is the Rupa in 5 Naya and the keyword of all this. is the kamma charupa, which is living or set up in the samuttathan. Kamma charupa, like that.
Okay, so question for you. Now that you know that we use Nibbana Rupa in our everyday life, right? And out of these 18 Rupa, which Rupa is the Rupa that we use to listen to the Buddha's teaching, to Sikkharama, or listen to the Buddha's teaching? Can you guess? Any guess you want to make? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we use this rupa right here. Sattha Visaya Rupa. Not just in this life. Now, when you're Sikha or Dhamma, like what you're doing right now, you're also using this rupa. But that's going to take you to the future. Okay. So for people who are interested and who Sikha Dhamma, they can be born as Manusa or Deva or Brahma in the future. Because that's what Sattha does. Sattha, when you listen to Buddhist teaching, okay, it becomes Sattha Visaya Rupa. It's kind of like Sattharamana that we take in from outside, right? From Pita, from outside to inside of us, to Achatta, to inside of us, right? This is going to take us to the future. For people who see Karama, okay, you can be born as human or Devas, Brahmas, fine. But if you're listening to other things, for example, you listen to music, you watch movies, you have like some conversations with people. This is also Sattharamana, Sattha Visaya Rupa. That's going to take you to the future as well, but probably not a nice future, right? Not a kind of like a Manusa or a Deva kind of future, right? It's more like Abhaya Bhumi. So we want to avoid that, right? So we must listen to the Buddha and what he teaches. Our past life also, the reason why we are here, that we are born as humans, the reason why we are so interested in the Abhidhamma, because in the past lives, in our past lives,
We have been accumulated some.
yeah, we had accumulated a lot of Dhamma already. We listened to the Buddha, right? But the chapters weren't complete. We didn't reach Sota Panna. But that's okay. We are born again in this life so that we can accumulate more Dhamma, so that we can finally reach the Sota Panna level. So that's why Sattha Visaya Rupa or Sattha Rupa is like a control center. It's like a
Actually, it's like it's like a black box.
black box. Like on the planes, right? It records all the sounds and whatever that happens on the planes or in the cockpit, right? So it records basically everything. Everything that both good and bad. Everything is right here, right? It's called Sanghaha. Right here in Sattha. So Sattha is very important and it's Nibbana Rupa. However, if you wanna reach Sotapanna, if you wanna go to the Arya level, you must move, okay, from 18 to 10. You must move Sattha Visaya Rupa to the 10 right here, all right? To Akamacharupa 10, right here. We want to separate. We want to separate Sattha Visaya Rupa from all the other Visaya Rupa. So separate Sattha Visaya Rupa from Rupa Visaya Rupa, Kantha Visaya Rupa, and Rasa Visaya Rupa. How many Visaya Rupa are there? 4, right? Rupa Visaya Rupa, Sattha Visaya Rupa, Kantha Visaya Rupa, and Rasa Visaya Rupa. Now these 4, what's really interesting is that when they stay together, they become Aramana. They become Aramana. Aramana means you go to the future.
Okay, faith means sattha. Okay, different ones. We have sattha and tattha.
Okay. So real quick clarification.
Rupa.
Sattha is kind of like the sound, right? Sattha, not sattha. Sattha is different, right? Like
Sopana
sattha
Cetasika.
cetasika. Sattha cetasika, sati cetasika. Sopana cetasika 25, right? That's sattha with a long A sound. but sattha with the short a sound
rupa
is rupa. That one's cetasika. This is rupa. Okay, different. Now, sattha kind of like what you hear, right? So let's go back. When the visaya rupa stay together, they become aramana. With aramana, you go to the future. With aramana, you have tawara. Tawara is kind of like gate, right? So tawara will attract aramana through ayatana, right? Ayatana will pull aramana from the outside world. Whatever we see out there, the slides that you are seeing, the faces that you are seeing, the sounds that you are hearing, the smells that you are taking in, the tastes, and the touch, right? You take all of that in, that's aramana, goes inside through tawara. Through tawara, and finally you go to manotawara and you go to the future. That's aramana, right? So that's why we want to separate one of these visaya rupa and first of all, make them gamma, make them the past, because we can do something about it. So we have gamma charupa on the left side, and then we have a gamma charupa 10 on the right side. And now you see that now sattha rupa is right here. It's isolated. It's isolated from the other visaya rupa, meaning now that you are preventing yourself from creating aramana to go to the future. This is important because you want to go back to the past. If you are acting right now, you're using your present life, your present body to go to the future. It's impossible for you to go to sotapanna, right? You want to make everything gamma first. That's why nibbana-rupa and anibbana-rupa must return to its former form, which is gamma-charupa 18 and agamma-charupa 10. So by switching these two things, sattha visaya rupa and so sattha okay, hold on. Sattha visaya rupa right here and pariccheta rupa. Pariccheta rupa, if acted as a nibbana rupa, that's going to create your body in the future. That's going to create the bhumis in the future. So can you describe pariccheta rupa
parisheta rupa
and its
okay.
function?
Its function, the function is just like sculpt, you know, the sculpture. Yeah, when you have the rupa, it has to like sculpt or cut it into the form, cut it into many things by the function of the citta.
Yep.
So it's more like shaping.
And that's what we use in the past life too. In the past life, when we were still using nibbana rupa in the past life, we use pariccheta rupa. Pariccheta rupa, that's why you can see on your body, your eyes have holes, right? Some holes in here. Your ears have holes. Your nose have holes. That's the work of pariccheta rupa. Your mouth also, right? How about your skin? Your skin has pores, right? That's the work of pariccheta rupa. And your internal organs as well. If you zoom in everything, right? You zoom into your hair, you will see some holes. That's the work of pariccheta rupa. Pariccheta rupa works as kind of like scissors, cuts everything, molds everything, sculpts everything, shapes everything. That's pariccheta rupa from the past life. And that's why we are born, we look like this. But so not only that, your environment too was sculpted and shaped by pariccheta rupa. Okay, so that's why it's going to create the future. If you use pariccheta rupa as anibbana rupa, it's going to create the future. Now we all want to leave the cycles of rebirth, right? Leave paticca samuppada. If that's the goal, then you must make pariccheta rupa return to gammacharupa right here on the left side at the bottom. Return to gammacharupa and it must stay there, right? It must stay there. Don't build just yet, but go to the past life. So by switching pariccheta rupa and Sattvavisaya Rupa. You can go back to Kamacharupa and Akamacharupa. When you have Kamacharupa and Akamacharupa, you have these these four columns here. Kamacharupa 18, right? We just talked about that. You see Parichetarupa right here. Because we said, don't build. Go back to this form first. Make yourself gamma first. Right. And at the top, you see number 1 to 8. That's Avinipokharupa. Avinipokharupa is the foundation of every rupa, right? Our bodies, the environment, even at level 99, Avinipokharupa is the foundation. But not only Avinipokharupa, there's Parichetarupa as well. Okay, it's gamma. It's already finished. Look at our bodies. It's already finished. Parichetarupa is ingrained into our bodies like this already. We don't have to do anything about it. It's finished, right? So you can see that there are two parts of Kamacharupa. Ekanta and Anekanta. Ekanta is like the nine Kamacharupa that only stay inside of Kamacharupa. And Anekanta means that it's the kind of Kamacharupa that is all over the place, meaning they appear in not only Kamacharupa, but also Chitta Charupa, Utu Charupa, and Ahara Charupa. Right? So Kamacharupa 18 and a Kamacharupa 10 comes out to be Kamacharupa 18, Chitta Charupa 15, Utu Charupa 13, and Ahara Charupa 12. So this is the foundation. The foundation is right here. Okay, if you want to go to Nibbana, this is the base. How do you know it is the base? Well, the name itself tells you. Thana, right? Thana is in Thai, but okay, right here, Thana. Thana means the foundation or the base. You can't just travel to, the past life to reach Nibbana, right? You must have the base. Kind of like when you want to climb a mountain, you want to reach the mountain top, like the Sumeru or the Everest, right? You have bases. You must have the base first in order to go up, right? You can't just jump. You can't jump there. You can't fly there. You must have the base. So come back to this. From Nibbana Rupa and Nibbana Rupa, come back to Rupa Samutthana. Kamacharupa, Chittacharupa, Utucharupa, and Aharacharupa. And this is a very, very important Rupa right here. Bottom left. Is Hataya Rupa. Okay, just made a mess there. Is Hataya Rupa. Not Hatayang, but Hataya Rupa. Why is it important? This is Hataya Watu. Hataya Rupa is the place that Chitta reside in. Okay. Chitta 107 overall. 107. The red part is 37 outside and 70 is inside. The reason why we emphasize Kammacharupa a lot is because inside of Hataya Watu or Hataya Rupa, you see this right here in yellow? Sota Patimakha is outside, is with us. Sota Patimakha is just not been activated yet. The reason why we've not reached Sotapanna or did not reach Sotapanna in the past life was that we were never able to activate Sota Patimakha Chitta 5.
Or we don't know, or we don't have much power.
We don't have the ability. Okay, we didn't have the ability. Maybe we had apamanya, karuna, and mudita. We feel sorry for people a lot. That's different from metta, though. You can have metta for people, but karuna and mudita actually
sway and bias.
It makes you biased. For example, you say, okay, this person says that they're a good person because they're a good parent. They really love their children, right? But maybe a better person would probably say that they love everyone. They feel
neutral.
they feel neutral, you know, because karuna and mudita, they're biased, right? So they are the ones that are holding us back. But the point here is sotapadimaka is right here inside of hatayavatu. See, how many lokutara citta are there?
40.
40.
48.
Correct,
Yes.
correct. Yes, 40. So you have Makhachitta 20 and Palachitta 20, right? So you have Sotapati Makhachitta 5, Sotapati
5.
Palachitta 5,
5.
Sagathakami Makhachitta 5,
5.
Sagathakami Makhachitta 5,
5.
Anakami Makhachitta 5, Anakami
5.
Palachitta 5, Arahata Makhachitta 5,
5.
Arahata Makhachitta 5. So you have 40. Now what's really interesting is, look at this. Lokutara, the remaining Lokutara Citta 35 is inside. It's inside. It's right here, 35. But Sotapati Makha is right here. Why? Because we must enter. We must enter Lokutara through here, right? But there's a lot of traps, you know. The first thing, maybe this is easier to see. Usually the first thing that when we go to Hatayavatu, everything is linked back, always linked back to Hatayavatu. You have Chitta Sharupa, Utu Sharupa, and Ahara Sharupa. When we live our lives, you know, we talk, we eat, we do anything, right? We use Chitta Sharupa. We can move, right? We can walk, we can sleep, we can talk. We use Chitta Sharupa. But Chitta Sharupa always links back to Hatayavatu.
Everything is under control of Hatayavatu.
Yes.
Actually. Even
Yes.
the Pancha Thawara Vachana
Uh-huh.
Citta, even our eye, ears, tongue, body, actually the control center of all and play the big part is Hatayavatu.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But there are so many traps though. For example, look at this. Tosa. The very first citta inside of Hatayavatu, as part of Hatayavatu, is dosa. Dosa mula citta too. And you know where dosa takes you? If you have a lot of dosa, all right? Would dosa take you to become devas and brahmas?
No.
No, they take you to hell, right? So dosa, suddenly, if you don't see Dhamma, right, you don't understand anything, you don't believe in the Buddha, you don't believe that he's real, you don't believe in the past life, you don't believe in the future life, you have a lot of titi, right? Tosa will directly take you to Manotawara Vachana Citta. Manotawara Vachana Citta has this Cetasika that will take you to Niraya. This Cetasika is called Viriya Cetasika. Viriya Cetasika has Sangveka. Sangveka, you see, Nirya, Tirachana, Beta, Asurakaya. The first place to go, when people do something wrong, when people commit akusala, then next life, they don't become Tirachana first. They don't become Asurakaya or Beta, Asurakaya first. They become Nirya first. But they don't become the first pit of Nirya. There are 8 pits, right? They go to number 8 first. And then they gradually rise to 7 and 6 and 5. But it's a long time. Okay, we don't want to go there, of course. But this is the first trap. Dosa will make you become a hell being. So
by nature.
by
By
nature.
of it. But you still have to use it in the right amount and in the right action in order to take that dosa into kusala, and we can make it if we sikkadama. If we in the trap in the part of sikkaya, you're going to learn how to use the dosa in terms of kusala. So it's not only take you to the hell. At the same time, if you have knowledge enough and you know how to make it the other way around, so it could turn you to kusala as well.
But Tosa is important, you know. Don't think Tosa is always bad. Okay, we still need Tosa. We still need Tosa. Why is that?
Just in the just right amount.
Tosa is kind of like fire in you, you know? Yeah. If you're able to move, you work hard, you work well, you're a really diligent person. That's because you have Tosa inside of you. But Tosa is kind of like a tool, you know? Kind of like a tool. You can use the tool to do good things and you can use the tool to do bad things, right? It's kind of like that.
Yes. For example, if dosa is a knife,
Mhm.
so knife could kill people,
Mhm.
and knife could cut
Cut wood, cut bamboo.
cut kilesa, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
So meaning that if you know how to use it in the way that Samma Sambuddha stated, so meaning that your dosa in the end is going to take to Lokutara anyways.
Mm-hmm. And because Tosa is at
The
the outermost layer of Hatayawatu, that's why we feel irritated easily. When we see something unpleasant, right? We get irritated and we could get upset. When we hear things, if we understand the language, like if some people curse you in Hindi, you would feel offended, right? And you would most likely feel
not okay,
upset or even angry, right? Which is normal, you know, it's an automatic response of the body, of the mind. That's because the work of dosa. Okay, that's why you feel this vedana. And when you smell something unpleasant as well, when you walk past like a dead dog or something, you know, it's like sometimes it makes you upset. Or when you eat something that is like too spicy or tastes terrible, then you feel upset. Or when somebody like smack you on the body, you feel upset as well because Tosa has been ingrained as part of us. That's why we feel it. So it's kind of like a knife, like Mickey said. A knife is very dangerous because if you don't know how to use it, you can cut yourself or you could even kill yourself if you don't know how to use it. But if you know how to use the knife, it's a very useful tool. You can do a lot of things with it. Like you drag yourself to open the Zoom call to listen to something really difficult like this. That's because of dosa. You must thank that you have dosa right now. So dosa can help you in a bad way or in a good way. In a good way is that you can sikha dhamma. We still need dosa.
you need power.
Lopa doesn't help you. Lopa is like inside. Lopa is lazy, right? It's like it makes you do nothing. But dosa helps you to move the needle.
To empower you to do many things. So it's not only just to make akusala, and actually is the big part if you understand it.
And if you use dosa well, you know, you can reach anakami level. That's the power of dosa. Everything here, even though they might seem bad, what seem bad can actually be good.
True.
And what seem good can actually be bad.
True.
Okay. For example, apamanya. You know apamanya cetasika, right? Has two cetasika. Apamanya has what? Number one, karuna cetasika. And mutita cetasika. So these two cetasika, karuna and mutita,
seem so kind.
they work with punya. They work with mahakusala citta. 8, right? So it seems good. It seems good, right? But they can actually be kind of like betrayers. Okay, they can betray you. They can make you feel sorry. Apamanya, Karuna Mudita can make you feel sorry for dosa.
It makes you swing.
Can make you feel sorry for dosa, you know. Hey, you should feel upset, you know, because what they did is wrong and you're a good person. And so, you know, don't forget to use your dosa, right? So that's apamanya. So there are many, many traps here. Now we know that we must enter Sota Patimakha right here, highlighted in yellow, so that we can go inside to the remaining 35 Lokutara Citta. That's the path. That's roughly the path. But there are so many layers here, as you can see, like Rupavachara Citta 15 has Apamanya Cetasika. Also, Mahavipaka Citta 8 has no Viriya, has no Virati Cetasika 3. We need Virati Cetasika 3. But Mahavipaka Citta 8 does not have Virati Cetasika 3. We need these three. How can we find them? That's probably something we discuss the next time. I can't believe the time's up. Is the time up?
Okay, it's a couple more minutes. You can
So I'll show you
roughly.
I'll show roughly the big picture of how you travel from the present life to the past life. Okay, this is the transcendence to Nibbana. At first, we start from sunyata level, which is level 0, which is us, right?
Right
We need
here.
to use the body. We need to use the body from the outside world. We are the outside world. We need to use this in order to go down from level 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 99.
But underneath to go to the level 99, it's not like we are going by just close your eyes, you know.
Yeah, it's not like imagining things, or it's not
about
like
imagining.
driving, or it's not taking a superficial time machine. It's through Sikhaya.
Through Sikhaya. So you
Sikhaya.
started from Chitta, Cetasika, and Rupa, and many topics of Abhidhamma that
Yes.
many Dhammachan has been like taught you before, and of course that also called Sikhaya. But in order to go back, that's why we said go back, but it's very hard to imagine that how to go back. We go back by Sikhaya from level 0 to 99. How you go back? By Sikhaya. And
Sikhaya.
that Sikhaya going to take you to the level 99 automatically.
And the easiest way to Sikhaya is to start from yourself, from your body, Kaya and Vaji, right? From your body,
Recite.
right? So that's why we say Panatipata, Veramani, Sikha, Patang, Samadhiyami. We Sikha, right? So that we can go to Patang, which is Nibbana, right? So start from the body first, right? Like the body like this. And then we start to discover what's called Kalapa, Rupa Kalapa, right? I prepared something, but it's not for today. Rupa Kalapa. With this Rupa Kalapa, you can hit the Samuttatthana level that we discussed earlier. But we start from Ahara Rupa. And then we go to Uttusha Rupa, right? From the outside to Citta Sharupa, 15. Citta Sharupa 15 has Sattha Rupa, right?
Kaya and Vaji, though.
Sattha and Kaya Vinyati Rupa and Vaji Vinyati Rupa, which is Sila, right? Which is part of Punya Kriya Vatu, part of us, right? And then we have Vikara Rupa 3. Now with Citta Sharupa 15, we enter Kamma Sharupa, specifically directly to Hatayavatu. With Hatayavatu, you have 107 Citta residing right here. And remember, we have Sota Patimaka Citta waiting for us, waiting to activate this Citta. But the way to do that, that's tricky because we are in Kamavachara. We need Virati Cetasika 3, but in the 37 Citta, there's no Virati Cetasika 3. But there's Apamanya Cetasika. Apamanya Cetasika, Karuna Cetasika, Mudita Cetasika prevent you from reaching Sota Patimaka. Sota Patimaka or Lokutara Citta 40 has no Apamanya. However, you find Apamanya in Rupavachara Citta, right? So even though if you have a lot of Kusala, you will be born as Deva or Brahma. We don't want that. We want to go to Nibbana. We want to go to Sotapanna. But how do you do that? Well, you don't just stay in the past life. Now, Chati 1, which is the present life, right? Chitta Sharupa, Utu Sharupa, Ahara Sharupa. We go back one life through Sikhaya. We go back one life, and then we find Hataya Watu or Hataya Kamma Sharupa. With Hataya Kamma Sharupa, like I said, we need to find Virati Cetasika, right? We must go back one more life to Chati 3, another past life. So this is where we find the old Vithi Citta, right? Vithi Citta, and inside you will find Chawana Citta as well. Chawana Citta is kind of like the factory that creates everything. Everything happens inside of Chawana. Inside of Chawana, you will find Maha Kusala Citta 8, which is the main component to reach Nibbana. We use Mahakusala Citta 8 in the past life, okay, in Chati number 3. That's where you'll find Virati Cetasika. And this is where you can also deactivate Apamanya Cetasika from right here, from the origin,
because the condition of Cetasika, the Virati Cetasika and Apamanya Cetasika is that if Virati working, Apamanya will deactivate automatically. So that's why we need to boost up the Virati Cetasika, because when we boost up the Virati Cetasika, meaning the Apamanya will not work at that time.
Now, once you have Virati Cetasika from here, and you deactivate Apamanya Cetasika, and also you have Vitaka Cetasika as the main Cetasika to start the Chana process and to control Nivarana. It starts here in Chati 3, inside of Chawana, inside of Mahakusala Chitta 8. Now you can travel back from Chati 3 to the present life, Chati 1. And then back in this process, you go back to Chati number 2. This is where you become Sota Panna. This is where you reach Sota Patimakha. Because now, even though we're in Kama Vajara, but we do have Virati Cetasika. We had this deactivated Apamanya Cetasika. So we can bypass Rupa Vajara to go to Lokutara. It ends right here, Hataya Vatu. All right. But if we are unable to do that, we go to Sangveka, meaning we go to the future. We go to the future, okay? If you see Karama like what you're doing today, you can memorize Chitta, Cetasika, Rupa. You start to learn Dhamma that's seems so difficult today because your foundation isn't solid yet. It's okay. You can pat yourself on the back saying that good job, I stick through it, even though I don't understand 100%. It's okay. The more you listen, the more knowledgeable you become, just like every one of us. None of us here are special. We're just normal human beings, but we're patient. We were patient, and we stuck through it.
Yeah, if you persist, keep your persistence, and of course, one day you're going to understand that what Ajahn means, what the Dhammajahn means by this picture. And of course, it's not today, but today you're starting to see and trying to connect the dot by Sikaya from with many people, many Acharya. So everyone going to help you to illustrate this picture. And this is the process that we are learning up until now. And we're giving you this because we mean well. So even though it's not the things that you're going to understand it by now, but finally everybody have to understand this, because this one is the things that Ajahn trying to tell you. So for like 30 years, 36 years, so still at this level. All right.
Okay, so I think that's enough for today because we went over time. But thank you very much for staying around, and it's okay if you don't understand. Just come to the class regularly. Every week we have a class. Week by week you get better. You have a deeper understanding, and everything will start to make sense. Finally, you will connect the dots. So Anumotana to everyone. Let's pay respect to Pante and Aye first, if any of them are here. Namaskaran Pante Aye.
มีสติอริยมรรคคะ
Namaskaran Pante Aye.
มีสติสามัญญพระ
Namaskaran Pante Aye.
เอกานิพพานะกิจภาปิญญาโดยเฉียบพลันในประวัติการนี้เธอ
สา
สา
ธุ
ธุ
สาธุสาธุนาวุติอุปาณิธิพันธะอนุโมทามิ
สาธุอนุโมทนา
สาธุครับ
สาน ธุ
มัส
ค่ะ
การพุทธจตุปริสาอริยปุคละ in พุทธศาสนา สุปฏิปันโน 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 นมัสการสัมมาสัมพุทธะวิสติอริยมรรควิสติสามัญญพละ เอกานิพพานะขิปาพิญญาโดยเฉียบพลันในประวัติการนี้เถิดสาธุสาธุสาธุนาวุติอุปาณิธิพันธะอนุโมทามิ And thanks all the other guys too for your support, by joining the class today. Thank you and Satu.
Thank you, everyone.
Anumotana Harry as well for joining. Nice to meet you.
So Sankiti.
สาธุค่ะ
โอ
คุณ
เค
คิติมาเหรอ
นี่ไง
น้องพี่ดีด้วยน้องพี่
สาธุ ใครสอนคนต่อไปครับเนี่ย
ก็ต้อมไง
อ๋อหมอต้อมเหรอครับ สาธุ งั้นเดี๋ยว stop recording แล้วนะ